Hello everyone. I have to say imagine how good it may be because despite its issue Phantom Liberty and attached to the 2.0 patch, definitely do improve a great deal to an originally flawed game, which after this update in DLC feels a bit like shooting an ugly duckling the moment it realized it was a swan just saying fly pretty bird blam, that's it, thanks for playing because this is the only DLC we will see for this game. Let's get the facts out of the way, coming out soon as a DLC for Cyberpunk 2077. Phantom Liberty promises some of the following: a new location in the city dog town steeped in crime, a place where the cops don't come and it's ruled by a crime lord and run by his private military, new radio stations including one actually DJD by Idris Alba as one of the main characters, more new characters as well, as returning old ones, new quests, new gigs, and a new type of randomly generated dynamic missions within Dogtown that involves airdrops and deliveries. New boss fights, a new relic skill tree specifically for the DLC, more than 100 new weapons, cyberware cars and clothing, and it also raises the level cap to 16 and you have about 2 to 3 branching paths for decisions in the DLC itself. And that's all outside, of course, the 2.0 update. Speaking of updating, here's an update to the channel. We are almost caught up to PewDiePie subscriber numbers with your help. Game starts off you choosing your own character after missions, and Act 2 of the main game of starting a new either. One lets you use the ability, of course, to order your perks to fall in line with the new 2.0 updates, which means more perks, and most of the perks now are actually moves or action or abilities removing. A huge number of the boring plus 5 to walk speed BS. It drops the president into night cities, Dogtown, as she is shot out of the sky, and you are hired by a runner on board, a creative character who works with the president and needs you to help her get here out now. This breaks down into more than about 10 missions, as well as almost 20 side missions, as you try to save the president as well as figure out what's going on and why they're involved, moving you all throughout the location. And then culminating in, well, something I can talk about. First, some facts. Dogtown is not massive, but it's pretty packed with new groups, people, and quests, and CDPR has tried their best to make it a sense that some new location. The city is just randomly propped up, and after you get in and start working through it's as seamless as this kind of thing is actually going to be. But be aware, it's a bit like finding out there's a secret nightclub at your high school, or this time it's a couple city blocks, some skyscrapers on a bar, so more like an entire underground at your high school, but you just sort of have you to buy off in the fiction. Phantom Liberty builds itself as a spy espionage story, and that does bring us to the fiction and a little bit, because that is true if you think as spies as Jason Bourne, James Bond, and or Atomic Blade versus the good Shepherd, and that's fine because it fits perfectly with the new patches and updates, and it's over the top actions that I think a lot of us do expect from Cyberpunk, and there really is nothing as enjoyable as unloading a small army depot into a cybernetic road and then suddenly remember, oh, this has some RPG elements, and then realize that RPG also stands for rocket propellant grenade, and your cyborg has grenades and can now dash faster than a questionably tested high school sprinter. No lie, sometimes actually felt bad for the enemies now because you can dash so fast. You can be behind him and the grenade you throw is landing in front of them. It's like watching 9 cheap cyborg versions of the mountain try to catch a drone with muffin tape to it, but man, it is fun. Even the story's first few missions are obviously there to flex the changes to the gameplay systems, stops where smart use of the new perks can change the entire way it actually feels to enter engines, and then agrees from combat, then adding in the cyberware has changed it as well. Dramatically so, and stamina and the DLC is a really good example of experimental situations where those are all used and you can see those changes instantly. For example, the 2.0 update changes stamina completely from being attached to running to now being impacted by constantly freaking think of Tamania, the gun becoming more and more crazy as you hold the trigger down. More and more of spread when it comes to the gunfire, it never stops. You but it, just it makes it more inaccurate.